Hey guys, Michael Forst here at Forst State Trucks, and we are back here on 100 Proof. As you can see, we got our tanks on and everything. And there's one thing I wanted to do to kind of address this. There's a big gap between the tanks there. Come up with something we wanted to do to fill that gap in and look really sharp. And so our guys over at the Fab Shop made this custom fuel tank crossover panel. You may have heard it called an I panel, but this is going to mount to the bottom of the frame, and obviously it's kind of cut out to fit the radius of the tanks. This will close off the back of that. It's a really good look. It's a pretty easy piece to put on, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get this put under the truck and get it mounted on here. Now you get squeezed underneath here. Ooh. Shouldn't have had that king size candy bar. So here's my clamping bars that'll attach the panel to the bottom flange of the frame. We got this one here with this little offset into it. And that'll sit over that flange. There's a couple of holes on top of that, and this flat bar of steel that'll go on the bottom, and that will allow that to pinch up here without just trying to twist or warp this piece of stainless, because it's quite a bit thinner than the steel plate. Now it's in place. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up and get them kind of snug, but then I'm going to go outside and get this positioned front to back and side to side, so I've got even gaps to the tank and even gap from the back of the tank to this panel. Came a little bit. Okay, that feels like I'll be about centered. These are your original feeler gauges right here. You can rely on these. Now I've got that set where I want it. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten those 4 bolts up the rest of the way and then check it one more time. And then I've got a backing plate that I'll bolt up to the back side of there to help keep that from filling up with water and rocks and everything. All right, well that's installed now. Pretty easy. It just literally just clamps to the frame like anything else. The fitting and prepping is 99% of the work, but I think this did an awesome job of filling in that gap, and it really dresses up the fuel tanks and the frame back here. So if you guys notice, we haven't addressed anything for taillights on this truck yet. There's no T-bar, no wide light bar. Now this truck, we opted for a simple center section. Now this one here is a custom-made center section that's constructed out of aluminum tubing, and it's gonna have a custom-made stainless insert. This one here we did with the diamonds in here to kind of go with the battery box and DPF cover. Ties it together nicely, and just a simple 2 4-inch round lights. All right, so to install this, you see there's a couple of mounting holes up into the top of this frame, and these align with a couple of bolts that were in the cross member where it holds the end caps onto the main cross piece. So first thing to do is get this down on the ground and get it lifted up to the frame and get our bolts in it. It's mounted. Go ahead and plug in this light harness while I'm right down here. So now our frame's all mounted. All we got to do is make the connection on my lights and install this center insert into the frame. All right guys, that's all it takes to get this light panel installed. Really simple, really sleek. I think this is a really elegant look in the truck. This kind of fits nicely with the theme. With this and all our painted parts and stainless, I think this is a real class act.